Male versus female dressing. I want you to see something. Is anyone Deuteronomy? You should be at Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5.
Deuteronomy 22 verse 5 says, "A woman must not wear men's clothing, nor a man wear women's clothing. For the Lord your God detests anyone who does this."
That is the passage normally used to speak against trousers. Did you hear what it said? A woman should not wear a man's, neither should a man wear a woman's, because this is detestable to God. Now, what's the interesting part? I wrote it on the board for you. The word for clothing for a man is that Hebrew word, kili. According to how you read it, shouldn't it be the same for the woman? According to what's read in English, shouldn't it be the same word? I'm showing you that it is not the same word. Her translation is almost, that's not a proper translation. One ought to say garment, kili, K-E-L-E-E, and the other one for women is simlaw, S-I-M-L-A-W. Those are two different words. They do not mean the same thing. So when people say the Bible says, and you say, no, the Hebrew does not say, they say, I don't want to hear the Hebrew. The Bible did not say the same thing. It didn't say a man should not learn a woman's mat, a woman should not learn a man's mat. Mat is mat. No. It said something like a man should not learn a woman's mattress. A woman should not learn a man's mat. A mattress and a mat are different things. Therefore, for you to understand it, you have to pause and check, what did it say? You can't not care. You can't say it doesn't matter. Yes?
Okay. The woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man.
Are you hearing? That which pertains to a man. That word there, that which pertains to a man, is the word. It's not a sentence. That is just one word. I'll tell you what it means soon. And
neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
The other one pertains to a man. This one is a woman's garment. What is it that pertains to a man? Kili. Kili is the word armor, instrument, weapon. The almighty passage that is used for trouser and its evils doesn't use the expression at all. Why does it say man's instrument, weapon, armor? But the word for woman, simlaw, means dress, covering, cloth, raiment. That's all it means. The other one, speaking it's almost literally speaking of metal, leather covering, protective armor. A woman should not take on, let me break it down, the role of a man. On different levels, it can be translated out, interpreted in different ways. Why do men put on armor? To go to war. Why do you put on clothing? To cover your nakedness. Do not exchange roles. It is only men that are meant to go to war. I'm not interested in the modern shenanigans. The woman should not be fighting at the front of war. Just forget the movies. All those wildcats, women, warriors. Just leave that. That stuff is Hollywood. And where they'll punch them and they'll spit and turn and punch the man. Hey, he falls. That energy does not exist. It's a joke. That's an absolute joke. Your bones will break. Your body, your bone density is not even the same. If I'm not mistaken, you can go and check it out. Females, you're different in so many ways. So many ways. Really. That's movie stuff. When they call her the weaker vessel, yes, it doesn't mean spiritually, it means physically and in other ways, emotionally. I hope you know spiritually there's neither male nor female. See, people mix, again, even people that they will end up going, when you go into spiritual things, they are crossing back and forth, distinguishing male and female too much. The Bible says there's neither male nor female. Jew nor Gentile. The distinctions do not exist in spiritual things. They exist in physical things. So our discussion right now about dressing and all that is not about spiritual dressing. Men will put on armor. In today's world, you could call that a business suit. The whole thing. And of course, I'm going to point out that a major thing he was talking about was homosexuality. Who has heard of the word transvestite? A transvestite, a cross-dresser. It is normal in the homosexual community for people to cross-dress. You see it in movies, you see it all that. They are trying, you see a guy, you don't know her face. Are you a man? Are you a woman? What are you, self? Of course, the transgender movement has made it very obvious now. But before this time, how would you look if you want to sneak into a woman's tent without it being known that man who is not married to a woman has gone to attend? A man, would you mind wrapping yourself like a woman and using a shawl? You wouldn't mind. You would wrap up and go in like one woman going to see another. And when you go in there, you go and commit immorality. You get the picture? And if a woman was to want to do that with a man and all that, she would carry something, maybe a helmet, and do her. You've even seen in movies where a woman dresses like a man in his armor, so she can sneak amongst others. Good. I hope you're getting the picture. Don't take on the appearance of what you are not. Spiritual principle. Don't break ranks. Don't do the illegal. Don't be fake. And people are not fake neutrally, they are fake for a purpose. So transvestites, because they know, homosexuals, they know it's wrong. Something in them is not okay with man, woman, woman. What they now call the gays and the lesbians. So they take on different roles. They switch roles. They become what they are not. They were not meant to. God made them in the way He made them how? Male and female. Opposing this and saying, God, why? I was supposed to be a man, like many are saying now. I am a woman in a man's body. You know that's what they say? They say boldly. That's God does not know what He's doing. The God factory for creating humans is mixed up. So He's mistakenly putting female spirit in male bodies. There's nothing like that, because you know why there's no male or female in the spirit? Because there's nothing like a male spirit or a female spirit. They are just male bodies and female bodies. Do you understand? The spirit is the spirit. And so there's this mix-up that the devil tries to bring about. I'm telling you that the reason people cross-dress is for the purpose of sinning. Mention that they'd have gay bars those days. I don't know about now anymore. And you'd go in, you'd see, it typically referred to the male type lesbian as a butch. But this is something I read many years ago. It's an old book, maybe from the 70s. I don't know if the language has probably changed. They refer to a man who is like the woman as a queen. And people could walk into restaurants in Western countries at that time. Now they've come out, it's a bit more open. But you walk into a whole restaurant and everyone there is a man. But you see men and women all over the place. But every single one's a man. Made up women, long hair with bra, everything. But all of them are men. And so there are these kinds of things. Doctors, like the man that wrote that book I was looking at, he was a medical doctor, it appears. And you talk about them rushing people to the emergency. Listen, people had an accident and you get there and you see a woman and you get there and they start tearing off the clothes to treat. And under it's a man. But it's a woman you're saying, it's actually a man or vice versa. All those kinds of things. Why do those things happen? Because people are not satisfied with the rule God gave. It's not just people. Now, like with every other evil, demons have stepped in. I've shared how I watched a video on CNN or something. And this child from 2, the mother says, the parents say, from around 2, when you say, that's a good boy, he says, don't call me a boy, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl. At the time they were showing this thing, he was about 13. He's a girl. What you're seeing is a girl. it's a girl you're seeing with long hair, with other girls, wearing a skirt, just the girl with earrings, and they claim it started from 2, and someone will say it's fake. Not necessarily. That's what happens when you open the door to the devil long enough. Demons come in. It is why our generation in handling the homosexual problem is not going to be as straightforward as you think. It's not as bad here because we still speak against it. You get? When something is accepted, it brings in all sorts of things. So when you now have children being born from birth, from babyhood, from childhood, saying, I am not what I am something else, you know it is not normal. After all, the child's parents are male and female. So where did they get it from? Who told them about? Demons. Demons tell them things in their ears. People cry out, including people who grew up in Christian homes and all that. So we release permission to spirits to oppress people. You hear people say, since I was young, I always felt attracted to the opposite sex. It's demons. It's not natural. They don't understand spiritual things, so they say, how do you blame me? It's not just everyone you look at and say, it's because you're hanging out or someone introduced you to this thing, that's why you're doing it. It's not so with everyone. With some people, nobody told them anything. Of course, some is just ordinary lust, anything that causes you pleasure. It doesn't matter male or female. Okay, fine. But there are some spirits start saying, I don't like boys, or I don't like girls, Just kept saying it, like they tell people to kill someone, or I hate this person. I just hate. I don't know why I hate, I just hate. Some, they don't just, some, there's a reason. Something happened that led to this, some that. Many with homosexuals, especially men, it's contact, gay contact. Many, their fathers did not play the role they should have. Their mothers were dominant. Very common. It's been discovered in the Western nations. And you'd have men that were 100% bossed by their wives. Many of their sons grew up being gay. They admire, they see women as the authority figure. And they will tend to be the kind of gays that submit to a man. You get? The queen. I hope you understand what I'm saying. All these things are looked to emotional damage, seed growing, things growing and so on and so forth that shouldn't be there. Things happening that shouldn't have happened. Emotional distress, you could say sickness. It opens the doors. Satan loves it. I heard David Paulson, I can't remember what he was preaching about, but he talked about different people he had met and how that was it. Some of them couldn't remember at all. The other one talked about how the mother and father always had issues. After he remembers his father climbing into his bed one night when he was 4 years and all that. And the child couldn't remember, but as they're praying, then it comes back to him. That seed of homosexuality was planted, or uncles and relatives, and they planted that seed. They touched them in ways they shouldn't touch them. He planted the seed. There was an impartation. Do you get? These things are not nebulous things. They are born from things. They have to be attacked. It's why you don't look at someone with some lifestyle and go, You don't do that. You don't go for the leaves and branches of trees if you want to kill it. You go for the root. You dig it up, you cut it up from the root. Many of them need healing. Many of them need to forgive their fathers for not being proper fathers, or mothers for not being proper mothers, for not being submissive. Even the lesbian thing, many lesbian inclinations are linked to hatred for men. Men did something, and something inside you says, I hate men. Almost all have that issue. And what therefore the powerful kingdom way of beginning to get free? I forgive men. Father, forgive men for what they have done to me, what they have done to people. Forgiveness, love. And it begins to break the power, break that thing. And those demons' grips are loosened. You won't understand the delight someone that was lesbian inclined has when they start liking guys, and vice versa, except you've experienced it. And of course, as a married person, I don't know how far I go, but that you even feel some attraction, because many of these people, you see all this, right? They don't even have any attraction. The opposite sex holds no attraction for them. All these things you are saying, they can look at it, it is nothing. The demon has possessed them completely. That what the Bible, I hope you know this case in the book of Romans. It says that they leave desiring women to start desiring men with men and women with women, doing things which they should not. This is one of the things that are spreading. It's not new. You notice some years ago, maybe about 5, 6 or more years ago, people started coming out. That guy in Prison Break came out. What's her name? I forget one. Jodie Foster came out. All sorts came out. It was like they planned it week after week. They'll just come out. You know what it means to come out? They've taken the word come out to the expression. It means to express who you are. I am gay. I am lesbian. Not everywhere. It became something that's open. All over the place. There was a time, I don't mean recently, I mean there was this season. It's like they got together and had a meeting and said, all right, you do the upper week, you will. And all those are the things that made in Christians start saying, well, maybe God made some people like that. I'm serious. All over pastors. I think they say Philip Yancey. People that have been Christian authors for years. You hear them say, I don't know if it's bad. I think, I'm serious. Serious preachers, well known, respected in the US, started not knowing anymore. It's only they know. So I'm saying, well, let's not speak against. I watched a video. Jim Baker's son, James Baker, a young guy. Jim Baker is okay, but this son of his is confused and he's preaching in a black church. And he starts, and the people are glad to have him clap their hands and all that. Next thing he's saying, it's a black church. And he's saying, I would think that you guys of all people would understand, as people, a people who had been oppressed, you know, the blacks as slaves, you know, in the US, and all that, that there's a generation. He sits there and cries. That's what made it disgusting. He goes, long story short, that there are people that are born like that and that nobody should speak against them. I can't remember if the pastor went and took the mic. I wish he did. The church didn't understand at first. Then they kept quiet. Someone invited you to come and preach. You take his pulpit. Oh God, give me. I'll just thank you. Go down. But to be honest, the way I really am, I'll keep quiet and you finish. Then I'll answer you. In fact, of course, if you've been taught properly, like you're being taught now, you will just wait. So if you ever see it happen, don't think I'm confused though. Don't say, leave that stage. Hey, come down from there. There's no need. Don't be like that. Just keep quiet. Let him finish, okay? Say, can we ask? I'll just say, yes, my people, they have questions. You allow for questions and answers? Then we do question and answer time. And when you finish, if we are not satisfied, then we hold mic and do our own. So you hear our own side. Abi, we have heard your side. So there are gay preachers, there's all sorts. You see people, I'm listening or reading, and there's the woman standing there, she's the pastor, but she used to be a man. Confusion everywhere. Let me leave that. I've talked enough about crossdressing, homosexuality. That is the major thing that was being attacked by God in Deuteronomy 22:5.